How are we doing, everybody? Welcome back to Team Extra. We're doing another tier list video today. We're going to be breaking down the best board breakers in Yu-Gi-Oh! With that, we'll introduce everybody that's here. This is, of course, Mr. Lowe talking. Who else we got?
I'm Kareem. Here.
And then obviously, Mr. Extra's here. Obviously.
All right.
I unfortunately have to.
If you want to take it away, we'll get started.
Yeah, I'll take it over from here. All right, so we have pretty much the same sections as we always do for stuff like this, right? We have our top tier, which means you better be using this. If you're not, what's wrong with you? I don't know what to tell you. Do you suck? Do you not suck? I don't know. Main deck worthy. That is stuff that you should be running in the main deck, this format. And I'm just going to say
in most cases
access format, because that's kind of what it is until it's banned. Side-worthy is side-worthy. That self-explanatory. Not enough is it's good, situationally. And then bad is, why are you doing this?
It's bad.
Seek help. Call a lawyer.
Seek help.
Yeah,
Seek
no
help.
good.
Call a lawyer. All right, so. This is going to be a fun one. All right, boys. Evenly matched for this format.
I'm going to whim here. I'm going to say not enough.
Ooh,
No.
That's a hot take. What you got, Lo?
I think it's definitely a side deck card, but they're nobody wants to go second this format. Last format, I felt like there were decks that wanted to go second and take advantage of like being able to main deck evenly.
Yeah.
Now, not so much. And now it's also like last format, you had Trap Tricks, you had Labyrinth, you had a lot of decks that were putting several cards on the field, no matter what they did, and you got a lot of economy out of it, evenly matched. Now, not as much.
Yeah, because like I can say as a friendly player, I put 2 cards on the board.
Well, you end with 2 cards on the board.
Yeah, I
I
end
guess.
with like 2 cards on the board.
Go-
But like,
Going forward for the end of this format, I do agree it's side-worthy, but I also agree that's not even worth playing right now, too.
I mean, I'm not using them right now.
I'm not using them either.
I'm not using mine either.
Because
I'm
like
not
here's
using mine.
like the lineup of decks this format, and this is in the ban list doesn't sneak up on us to like Philly or it later than that for whatever reason, because Konami never tells us this shit, because then we plan accordingly to it. So because cash is still a thing, evenly matched, it kind of goes hard on cash, but says so and so. I mean, it does. Pearly, no. Branded, I mean, yes and no, but Branded can recur from it too.
Yeah, I mean, it hurts branded. The actual act of getting evenly, like, really hurts branded, but it's super easy to rebuild your board.
Yeah, because like so they can't kill you that turn. So side-worthy makes sense for that for the time being. All right, Kurikara. This should be really self-explanatory here.
Yeah.
I would say top tier.
Top tier from the Pearly player. That makes sense. What you got, Lemmy?
It's hard for me to say. Like, I know it's good, but, like, I haven't been hit with it. Ever.
Yeah,
Well,
imagine your Nor and they feel
to
like,
be-
ooh,
To be fair,
thanks for activating all your effects in the draw phase.
the reason why Kurikara doesn't really get used on you is it's like effects that your opponent uses that turn. Like, so say if it's my turn and then you don't shotgun all your branded effects, I can't Kurikara your field.
Right.
And coming from the Sprite player, this card is disgustingly good against Sprite. Granted, I mean, it's going to be good against Mana DM too, which is going to be what I'm going to end up playing anyways. Top tier, yes. I want to say more like, I gotta agree with Green. It's still top tier. It's really good, but
I
certain
agree.
decks can play.
You know. That said, I might need to pick a set up.
They're expensive.
Pick me one up too.
They are really
What are they right now?
expensive. Like, last I looked, which you can look while we're doing this, so I pulled up now, but I can't.
Yeah, I get it.
$50
Jesus.
for one, something like that.
That's kind of gross.
All right. Let's move on to the next thing. And I actually need 2 of these. Fenrir.
Oh, I would say not enough. It's
Oh,
This is a weird one to me. Fenrir is such an amazing card,
he's so good.
but kind of in a vacuum at the same time. Like, in any deck that isn't Kashtira, it's a brick if you don't open it. And that's coming from,
fair.
like, having tried to play it in several other decks.
That's pretty fair.
But, so, like, as a single card, is Kashtira Fenrir amazing? Absolutely. As a board breaker, meh.
I mean, I'm looking at it like this way, right? Because I think it is main deck worthy. Mainly so is if you let's assume because this whole thing is board breaker, so you're assuming you're opening this, right? And then this
Right.
is like an immediate. Your opponent has to play around this, which makes it awkward.
Yeah.
However,
I guess I'm looking to it like you want to break the board before you get to the battle phase in almost every instance.
Yeah, but
however,
go on, Krim.
yeah. However, I just want to say about it. Like the thing is that also it's one, it targets, and two, it doesn't do that much because it only does one instance on that turn. Right? Let's just say you're playing against super heavy samurai, and they have like a full board of negates and stuff. What are you doing with that, Fenrir?
I mean, I get it. It's a pocket control. Like, the opponent always knows that anytime they activate a monster effect, that might be the time that you trigger the Fenrir. And it becomes another, like, Barone versus, Imperm or Lightning Storm, where you're like, I have to do something to force the negate so that I can shut it off for the turn. And if your opponent's smart enough not to negate something they don't need to negate, it's like you were saying the other day about, like, Ash versus Aliber. Why would you Ash the Aliber when you can hold on to the Ash for the Branded Fusion?
That's fair.
You don't, if you're holding Ash and Imperm, why Imperm the Aliber? Just Ash the Branded Fusion.
So
and then Imperm like the Mirror Jade on your turn.
So we'll do the hot take. Not enough. Right.
I mean, like I said, if you're assessing Fenrir simply as a board breaking card, I don't think it's very good.
Yeah,
as a whole, Fenrir is amazing.
He's very versatile. He's very, very annoying. Him in a hand trap makes Barone. Like, it's pretty good. That's why I was like, right. I mean, worst case side deck worthy. I mean, for example, Mana DM. But, I mean, Mana DM, I can directly search this thing. So
I mean, it's like, I'm already looking at a couple other cards on this list that it's like, as board breakers, I think they're awful, but as general cards, they're really good.
Yeah, that's why they're on the list. So, how about we'll go not enough. All right. I'm gonna.
Yeah, and I'm putting the caveat that that's like as a board breaker.
Yeah, I'm gonna enjoy this so much. Bad. Cyber Dragon's bad. It does not matter.
Yes.
Yeah, because I mean, like the only deck that even on
one deck.
No, and it doesn't though.
It doesn't.
Like I hear what you're saying. Like your immediate thought is super heavy samurai. They're all machines, but the end board isn't.
The end board is there's like one. I don't even think there's one machine, and it's either one, and it's King Regulus. That's it. Because it's typically like Apo, Baron, Savage, King Regulus, some type of spell trap negate that's like an actual spell trap monster. I mean, I don't think they even end on anything like that. So Dark Ruler kind of cleans them up, honestly. But
yeah,
Dragons, contact fusing, no, it's not gonna work. Honestly, like unless you open Clockwork Knight and they leave it on the field, then you're actually good to go. That is the only way.
Yeah, but that's being negated immediately. Let's be real.
Well, no, Clockwork Knight like that. If they just let that resolve and you set the Cyber Dragon, or like we'll just say core for Sterling's sake because it actually matters in this, example. Then you're free to go. Like you're good. It'll work. Outside of that,
no, you couldn't. No. You could not set core and then.
It's a Cyber Dragon monster.
No, Chimeratech Fortress. Well, Mega Fleet is the Cyber Dragon monster. Fortress is a Cyber Dragon, and Core is not a Cyber Dragon while it's set because it has not entered the field face up and become a Cyber Dragon yet.
Whoa, that's interesting. We'll elaborate that later outside of the video. All right.
But overall, it's bad.
This one should be very easy.
Contact Fusion is really, really weird with face downs.
This should be really
Book of Eclipse, I think, is side deck worthy. No, I think it's side deck. I mean, it depends what you're playing, I guess.
Yeah. Now, my take on Book of Eclipse, right, is if it can get Ash, it's not that good.
I was side decking to Friday, and I was happy with them. They helped me out, but they weren't pivotal.
Yeah, they didn't change anything. But the fact that you can Ash this to save the board that they're trying to flip down, is why I think it's just not enough. I used to use this card. I don't use
As
it anymore
bait.
because of that. Crane, what's your take?
I still like when I still played Emergencies because it's a wonderful card because you can just book their whole field, go on.
Yeah, when you're playing Link monsters, it's great.
Yeah, you're playing a Link. That's a Link deck.
But if you're not playing a strategy that's contingent on Link monsters, you're booking your own field too.
Yeah.
Yeah, then I'll just say Sideworthy because I'm not playing it in Pro.
And we'll do Sideworthy. Dark Hole.
Not enough.
No, Dark Hole's bad.
Oh man, I'm listening to Sideworthy, but I don't.
There are too many negates. There are too many cards that either protect themselves from being destroyed or do something when they're destroyed that you're not getting any real advantage off
I'm
of
not
it.
getting any chicken tenders out of this. Nope. Alright, this one's easy. Dark Ruler, right?
Yeah,
This isn't
top
even
tier.
up
Dark
for
Ruler's top
discussion.
tier.
This isn't
Top
even up
tier.
for discussion.
It
I'm
would-
sorry. This is the Dark Ruler format. Dark Ruler hand trap build a board format. This is literally what this one is.
Hey Robert, how'd that Dark Ruler into Zeus feel you both games? How did that feel?
I've been Dark Ruler a lot in the last. What is this? It's 33 minutes. It's like 20 something minutes until Monday. But I've been Dark Ruler a lot since Friday. We'll just say that. It's good. I hate it. I use it. It's good though. Cosmic Cyclone.
Not
Meh.
enough.
I don't think it's doing anything pivotal right now. We're out of adventure format and we're past like continuous spells and fields that need to stay in play past their initial activation.
Like
You know,
it's Sideworthy.
We're getting to a place
Sideworthy.
where like field spells are getting back to like search this card and then it stops being useful.
I mean, Peaceful Planet does a lot more than just search this card though.
Right. I'm not saying that there aren't decks that are utilizing their fields, but a lot of we're not in a place where like continuous spells and stuff. It's
Sideworthy.
not bad.
I mean, it's good spot removal for like floods. That's all I can see it as.
I think there are better spell trap removals in the meta right now.
Sideworthy. Just
If you're playing
Sideworthy.
catch and you're better off banishing things, it's good. But I think in almost any other instance, Twin Twisters is better.
Yeah, I actually forgot to put twin twisters on here, but yeah, we'll just go not enough on that one. Pankratops.
I love Pankratops, but this thing has not seen any play anywhere.
Bad.
I'm just gonna put not enough. He's not bad because he's
Yeah.
a literal free pop at the end of the day. Droplets is next. Now droplets, this is very finicky. This depends if Cash gets hit really hard or not.
This is another one where I think Droplet's good, but it's not really seeing much play right now.
Honestly, I'd main deck at this format because it literally just breaks the Super Heavy Samurai board too.
Yeah,
It breaks the branded board.
the thing is, like, before I would do that, I hate to sound like this, but it's like I'd rather just main deck the Dark Rulers since like they can't respond to that with a monster.
I mean,
I guess they can't respond with
drop,
Forbidden Droplet. What am I thinking?
yeah, it's like this. It's the same thing as long as they send the monsters. I'm gonna say. I'd main deck this format honestly, even with what I'm playing. I just don't have them right now. But do I think it's good? Yes. Denko Seko.
Hot take. I don't even actually know what this thing does.
Isn't like the one where you can't set cards?
Y'all are serious. Okay. I'll bring it to you.
I did not play while this thing was in the meta. Like, this thing was kind of out of the meta before I came back to the game.
Okay. All right. I'll elaborate. So, when you normal summon this card, like your opponent cannot activate or set cards. They can put out monsters. They cannot activate face down cards or set face down cards. So that being said, I'm pretty sure you can't even put stuff. You can't even set stuff in defense face down either. But the effect gets turned off the minute you set something face down yourself.
No. Oh, wait, no. I remember the effect. It says if you control no set cards, you can normal summon this card, and then after that, neither player can set cards.
Or activate. Set
Interesting.
Cards. You can't.
Honestly,
It's good against trap decks.
well,
We're not in a trap deck format. Yeah.
Not enough.
So bad.
I think it's. I don't think it's bad,
this,
but
this card was
And
this card
like-
was the bane of Lab's existence because of how thick it was.
But where's Lab now is the question.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. I mean, it's
back in the basement lab.
yeah. Lab went back to the basement
Doing their
for a
stuff.
while until it gets its
Lab went back to the lab to work out what's going wrong with the lab.
All right, so I got a super hot take on Econ. Econ's next.
Go ahead, bro.
I think
What is
main
it?
deck. It's still pretty good.
Really?
It's still pretty good.
Wow.
What y'all's take?
Like, you don't need a monster on the field to trigger to take a monster on their field. So, like,
It's not always just that. It's also the ability to put like Shangri-La in attack mode and run into it.
But then it can detach materials to protect
You
itself.
gotta think a little bit.
But you still just keep running into it. It's got 0 attack.
You gotta think.
I mean,
No, let's say if the field's on the field, then it gains attack.
Hold on.
not enough.
Think a little bit further about how more useful Econ actually is than just that. Alright, so I normal a monster. You have a monster in your field. I normal mine. I activate its effect. You try to imperm it. I econ it and sacrifice it to resolve the effect. Let's take your monster.
Right.
That's pretty good.
You got a point.
That's why.
Unless, like, you need that monster on the
Either
field to, like, do
side,
something else with it.
I mean, I'm up to debate for it to be
Side deck worthy.
Actually, might try that tonight.
Yeah, you can dodge imperm with it. You can dodge like anything that targets really.
Lots.
Yeah, a lot. A whole lot. I was using this in Sprite for a little while. Duster.
Side deck worthy.
Yeah.
It's a literal one of them. They put this card at 3. This card is crazy.
Well, yeah. It was never at 3. Like it was one of those cards that was like preemptively limited. I feel like it. I don't think there was ever a time that you could play 3.
Yeah, as long as I've been playing the game, even though I started playing it back when the game first came out, I don't remember this ever being at 3. Period. Like they just said,
Right, because it felt like it took a while for it to come out. I know it didn't.
it came out.
Like when you go back and look, it came out in like 2004, but it felt like it took a while for it to come out, and it's probably because it was one of those cards that like my uses it. I think in like the 6th or 7th episode of the show.
Yeah, it was a heartbeat.
So we see that it exists very, very early in the anime, and then I think it felt like it took forever for it to release in the actual game.
It's pretty good. If they put this at 3 up, it would create a lot of chaos for like trap format or stuff like that. But
Yeah, I think it's not enough right now though, because like we're not in a set a bunch of cards format
I mean, unless
where you're not getting a bunch of economy off of it.
unless you want to blow up,
It's good.
blowing up probably be hilarious.
Side deck worthy.
Yeah, it's either
Obviously.
side deck worthy or just like the best card in not enough as a board breaker.
As a board breaker, I'd put it not enough, only for the fact that Lo does have a point about that. It's side deck worthy to clear like back row, but you're not breaking a board of Duster, not really.
Like how much economy are you getting off of it right now? This isn't Labyrinth where like Labyrinth or like Trap Tricks was the one you always got the most mileage out of it because they can't chain all that shit. So hopefully they're just losing 3 cards.
Well, here's the thing with Trap Tricks is even if you Duster the back row, I mean, Trap Tricks back row is very, very shitty compared to like what Lab would usually set.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They at least like with Labyrinth, okay, you set 3 Duster, chances are you can chain at least 2 of them.
Yeah,
So you're still
welcome
not
Lab
just-
is a big welcome.
Trap Tricks, you're not
Whatever.
changing anything, probably. It's all whole cards.
In most cases, the point is you're not just losing them. I'm just forcing the activation versus in like a Trap Tricks scenario where those sets are trap holes. They can't be chained off to the Duster. You're just losing them.
Yeah,
Yeah, you can recur them really easy on your next turn, but they're not there. They're not there this turn.
yeah, I agree. All right, Lava Golem. Lava Golem does.
Side deck
Um,
worthy.
No, I think Lava Golem's really good. We're back in a format where you don't need to normal summon monsters.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you're
this
right.
is a definite main deck card if you got the space. Because here's the
You know,
Lava Golem card.
the only two decks that are really like going hard into the normal summon are Branded and Cash, and neither has to do it.
Yeah, Cash doesn't usually do it, but if they do it, it's a force.
No, they
Probably
do.
doesn't-
They just don't have
Probably
to.
doesn't need it either. Probably doesn't
Right,
need it either.
doesn't need to do it.
Right, but like what I'm saying is like, yeah, you use Birth. Yes, you normal summon a Cash Tira monster during the combo. Do you have to? No.
No.
If you lost that normal summon, could you still play? Absolutely. Same thing in Branded. Like, Can you play without the normal summon? It's not easy, but you can do it.
Like one thing
Same thing as Pearly.
One thing I can say about like Mana Diem, since that's what I'm gonna be playing soon. It's the same way as Branded, where like if you can't do the normal summon, that's fine, but you gotta have like certain stuff in your hand to be able to play around that,
Right.
Curry card would be the better choice for like that kind of deck, or like Branded, in my opinion, just because it just does a bunch of fuck shit. Alright. Lightning Storm.
Okay, I'm just gonna say something real quick. I think we should talk about this and Raigeki together.
Yeah, well, Lightning Storm and Raigeki, yeah, we can do
It's
these.
because since Kashtira has been a thing, I don't like Lightning Storm at all.
Why?
There's too many decks that are just throwing monsters in defense mode left and effing right. Lightning Storm loses that a hit against the front row. It's not economic against the back row right now. Whereas Raigeki just hits the front row hard. It doesn't matter if they throw everything in defense mode, you still pop everything. Theoretically.
Alright, Kareem, what is your take?
Yeah, my take, I actually agree with Lo here.
What, side
Lo
worthy?
makes it 100%.
I think it's side deck worthy.
Side deck worthy, but
I
also like
agree.
not enough. It would be like in front of Harpy's other dust or not enough.
Alright, so since you already pointed it out, I went ahead and pulled Raigeki up here. What do we
Raigeki, side deck worthy.
I think it's side deck worthy too. I don't think you main deck one right now.
I don't mean
I would
But-
put Raigeki like in front of Book of the Eclipse because like one, yeah.
I mean, if we're putting these things in order of like how good we think they are within their own little box, yeah, I would say Raigeki's like top end side deck worthy. But I didn't know we were getting that in depth here.
We're getting that in depth. I can fix all that real quick.
I mean, it's not that big of a deal. I think.
Let's see.
I think we're more kind of talking about like generally where these things are. It's one thing to kind of just remark like, this is the really good end of this spectrum, but
It's okay. I fixed it. We're good. I didn't have to switch much, to be fair. Alright.
right.
There you go. Alright. Babushka.
Here's my take. Bad, and it's because I don't see this thing as a board breaker. I see this thing as a control mechanic.
Yes, thank you, Lo. Yes, thank you.
That's
Like-
fair.
Like literally, the only deck that's playing it and actually playing it well is going to be like
Source.
Mathmech.
I think Sword Soul spits it out occasionally. But yes, Mathmex.
Because Mathmech was like, oh, I don't have combo.
It's like the poster boy of the rogue deck right now.
Yeah, that's fair.
Especially, it's
Once
really
you
like,
once you break my rogue strategy, I can at least Baguska you for 3 turns.
Alright.
yeah, and then it gets hit with the Fat
I
Emperor
got
on your turn, and you
super
cry.
hot take for this one.
Till it's out of material and dies. Like once it can't banish material from its, or once it can't remove material from itself at the beginning of the turn, it just dies anyway.
I got a super hot take for this next one.
What? That Nibiru's awful?
Yes. Nibiru
It's bad. It's so bad. It's
straight up not doing enough now since the format shifted.
This too,
Robert-
because every deck that's in the meta right now can set up a negate before 5 summons.
Except
or
for
just
cash.
Like if I open Branded Lost now and I don't have to search it before I do all my stuff, I just as soon as I can search something, I search Mercurier and I stop worrying about Nibiru.
Cash is the only one that cannot put up a negate in 5 summons.
Hey, Robert, still have PTSD when you did me, buddy?
I mean, that was a learning experience. After that, I knew never to nib Pearly again. Like I'm about to take nib off the side deck. That's what we're about to do. It's good for rogue hitting rogue.
I am playing 1 in my side deck so that I can cross out Designator
I
it.
have 2 right now, but they can definitely go in.
I have 2 as well.
Okay. Super Poly.
Not enough. Well, not
No,
enough, yeah.
no. This is a hard one.
All right,
There's
let
a
me
lot
give you
of-
reason for saying that.
Go ahead.
The reason why I say it's not enough because like right now we have Pearly, which Pearly they really don't have like two probably targets. By the time they shoot probably target, one of the targets is unaffected.
No.
I mean, like,
it could work.
and then you have Super Heavy Samurai, which has like multiple different types, and you're not going to make it Mud Dragon or anything
You're gonna,
off of that.
it would work against Super Heavy Samurai. I can
Yeah, you just have to hit it at a really specific point. If you get it like when both of the pendulums are on the field as monsters, you could do it and get Garura.
You'd be able to Garura them.
But like, is that really worth it though?
Yes.
I mean, they need both of those monsters, yes.
But by the time they're on the field, they already used their effects.
You're not getting the fun. You can use it. You can 100% use it probably to break like a super heavy samurai board, in my opinion. I know you can use it to break like a branded board, 100%. There's no way you can't. Pearly, not so much, but that's only if you have a 5 material Nor. But here's the thing: if you have like a Plump out, we'll say Plump. Plump is like what? Wind, right? Wind or Earth, something like that.
Earth.
Earth is what?
It's Earth. Earth Fairy.
Okay, so you could I could probably super polyweight Plump, but Nor I couldn't unless
I think
it had less anxiety.
I think with Super Poly, this comes down to what you're playing.
Yeah.
If you're playing,
A fusion deck.
you know, Sprite
fusion deck.
or Cash or Pearly right now, it's side deck worthy. If you happen to be playing branded, I think it's top tier because all I need is an Albaz and I can break any monster now. Almost anything.
Coming from someone who plays
Thank you.
Sprite, I don't even play Super Poly because I think Sprite doesn't need it.
Well, like, okay, you end your board with Barone and whatever else. In a lot of cases, the Barone is the top, like, that's your negate, that's your big protector. If I'm holding a Super Poly and an Albaz, I've got my out.
Yeah. Ball and Albaz.
Oh, yeah.
No, and I understand that that's anecdotal coming from, like, you have to be playing branded, but the point is, like, if you've got a deck like branded that can take advantage of it, it's amazing.
Yeah, fusion decks, it can go crazy in fusion decks.
You know, if you were playing, not that anybody's going to be playing this, but if you were playing, like, Omni Heroes.
Yeah, okay. Alright. Talents. Talents
Is Thrust on this list?
Talents can 100% break a board. I can confirm this.
Side deck worthy.
Because talents to take is real strong still, I'm just saying. It's real strong.
Drawing two? Drawing to the board breakers?
No.
Nice.
Talents to take. It's so good. Taking their best monster, their negate, or whatever, if they can't, like, stop the talents from resolving. I agree it's side deck rather though.
Because it'd be like, especially because you got the draw two, especially going first too. Yeah, I guess you could say main deck worthy because like also like having it going first as well. It's not really a board breaker, but it's like stopping your opponent though.
I mean, yeah, but we're doing board
Getting rid of that key card in your hand.
Board breakers here. I've used talents to break a board before, especially in like this format, where I would like for example, if we're doing Cash and you know they pop off, they trigger their Rise Heart or whatever, and I go talents, I take their Rise Heart, then make Zeus and a roller field. I've done it. It's very effective. Alpha Master Beast. I'm gonna honestly just drop this as bad because I have not seen this around in years. Like I haven't even seen anyone use this in years. Let alone seeing it in like a deck that tops regionals. I've seen it like maybe once or twice in the last couple of months where it's in a side deck and they're not using it.
I think this is another, like, if you're playing the deck that can take advantage of it, great. Otherwise, like, you're just kind of going out of your way to side deck it.
Yeah, Tri-Brigade's like the only deck that I think that really take advantage of this. This and like
right. Crystal Beast, maybe. Most of them are beasts. Or winged beasts.
That's fair.
But yes, like, it's a super specific scenario where Alpha is good.
What about Chalice?
Chalice is the
Negate.
protects from.
It's a negate.
No, it's you lose attack points, but you become immune to spell and trap cards. I think.
No.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Chalice
saying.
is the negate. Lance is the one.
Oh,
that's
Forbidden
the
Land.
And the one you're thinking about
My
loyalty
energy.
might be Duress.
No, it's Lance. Lance is the one I'm thinking of. Chalice isn't bad.
I just put not enough for
Would I
this.
play it? No.
It doesn't do enough. It negates one monster.
And then boost their attack so you can just like keep you.
You can respond to it with anything. So
Alright. This one's easy. It's not even up for me.
yeah, I mean,
This isn't even close.
this is another main deck as long as you're playing something that can spit it out.
Something that has extra
Yeah, if you're playing an XYZ deck, you're golden.
Pearly, Cash, Sprite. Brandon's about the only one that can't play this, really. But I mean, that makes sense though. Brand
Is this Gamma Seal representing all kaijus?
Yes.
Okay.
S tier. Just throw it up there.
No, I think kaijus are also still just main deck.
main deck. Well, I mean, top tier can be main deck too, but the top tier is like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
best on the list. Kaijus.
Well,
really good.
I mean, the fact that you don't have to the fact that they're not susceptible to negates or anything, like they don't have to reveal to activate, I guess probably makes them top tier.
Yeah.
Because I mean, it is kind of just an instant out.
It's
Once again, we're in a format where I think we can put up multiple negates right now.
and I can.
Yeah, but
Kaijus are
you know, doesn't matter if your Nor has 8,000 attack points, is untargetable, unaffected on everything.
Here, have a
I
kaiju.
can still just throw a Radiant down and be like, bye, bitch.
Alright, Santa Claus.
Thank you for recurring my hand.
Refresh my memory on Santa Claus. If I remember, it's like a kaiju. It's like a kaiju that does some extra shit.
I got you, Robert. Robert, I got you.
Alright.
Santa Claus says you can tribute a monster and during the end phase, whoever has it draws a card. And the good thing about it is that you can put it in defense position, and also you can do it multiple times. So if you have multiple Santa Claus, you can actually keep putting Santa Clauses on the field.
Hang on.
That's not.
I'm going to look up the exact
That's
wording.
disgusting. That explains why a lot of people, like, I've seen a lot of rumblings for Pearly using this thing.
Okay, here's the exact wording. You can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's side of the field in defense position by tributing one monster they control. If summoned this way, during the end phase of this turn, you can draw one card.
Oh yeah, that's pretty good.
So the opponent is getting to draw a card.
Yeah, that's what I said.
No, don't you get to draw a card?
No, it's
because
because
your
you,
opponent controls it.
because you would imply the controller of the card.
Huh. Why are people playing multiples of this then?
Because you can, it's better. It's a better kaiju because you can. If you have two in your hand, they got two
You
monsters.
can
on
play
the field.
both.
Oh, I gotcha. Alright. So, this is where we're at. This is looking pretty good. We're being fair. Zeus would have to be the number one big dog here, unfortunately, because it's just
No, I still think Dark Ruler is better than
Yeah,
Zeus.
Dark Ruler.
Dark
Yeah,
Ruler
Dark
is
Ruler.
But
Zeus.
Yes, agreed.
Now, is there anything else you all want to cover before we close this out for our audience?
No, I got nothing.
no, I think that's. Yeah, I think we hit all the big ones.
We had all the big ones for the time being. I mean, Twin Twisters would be side deck worthy.
There's always gonna be something that we're missing. You know, hand traps as a whole.
Hand traps aren't board breakers, in my opinion. I mean, Nib is.
Yeah, I guess that's
Nib,
true.
the only one I can think of that board breaks is Nib. He's on here and he's not doing enough. But
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it.
all right. So, well, I guess
You can do an honorable mention for Black Rose Dragon because Synchro's coming back and Gold Pride's a thing.
Hey, I mean,
I don't think it's amazing. I think it's another if you can do it, great. But most decks aren't in a position to spit out level 7s over or level 7 Synchros over and over.
yeah, that's Gold Pride. Mana DM can do that to an extent, but I mean, it's a little weird to do 7s with that deck. But they can mostly do
Plus, you also have to be able to take advantage off of
well enough to
breaking your own board because you're blowing up the whole field.
Nah, I would only Black Rose in a situation where I'm trying to reset, so I'm trying to clear their field.
Well, yeah. You take this from the last time, my 100% of my time playing Black Rose was during actual 5Ds era when the thing was just part of the standard side deck package or extra deck package. Everybody back then played Goyo, Bryanak, Cataster, one Stardust, usually a Black Rose, sometimes a Red Dragon. Sometimes if it wasn't Red Dragon, it was Colossal Fighter, but some other level 8 that wasn't Stardust. And then you're the rest of your extra deck was usually your archetype stuff.
Ah, fair enough. Well, we'll go ahead and cut it short here, and there will be more content as we proceed to see how this format changes. I actually do think that we are going to come back to an archetype tier list for midway through this format. 100%. There's no reason why.
Yeah, I like that idea.
Plus, post
See what
For ban
happens
list
in a few
predictions?
weeks.
post a ban list. The one that
Didn't we do ban list
We
predictions?
did do ban list predictions, yes.
Yeah, that was like the first one we did.
Yeah. But we'll probably be coming back doing another tier list after the ban list drops, and obviously we're gonna do a ban list reaction too. Straight up. All right. Well, that's all we got, guys.